All right, first and foremost, I want to start off by saying, Kohala Yahweh, Bahashem Yahweh Shai, Bahashem Rakal Kwadash. Double honors to the apostles of GMS who rule well and who taught me this truth. And shalom to you sincere Akim out there listening, learning, and pushing this truth. And I'm going to jump straight into this video. Lord's willing is edifying. Shouldn't be too long. Just got a video and a couple scriptures, and I'll shut it down, all right? This video is going to be off of RT. It's called U.S. Militarism, Feast on China and Russia Threats. U.S. Militarism, Feast on China and Russia Threats. Ron Paul to RT, right? So with that being said, let's jump into the video, and I'll go into Rakal Kwadash, Lord's willing is edifying.
It's been revealed Donald Trump called former US President Jimmy Carter for the first time over the weekend to discuss relations between the United States and China. Carter reportedly criticized America's current warmongering foreign policy and encouraged Trump to follow the Chinese example by spending the military budget differently.
China has not wasted a single penny on war, and that's why they're ahead of us, in almost every way. And I think the difference is, if you take $3 trillion and put it in American infrastructure, you'd probably have $2 trillion left over. We have high-speed railroad. We have bridges that aren't collapsing. We have roads that are maintained properly.
The US spent $3.
You see that? Because Babylon, you see, that's how you know this place is through. You see? And that was back then. I think that was back in what did he say? Oh, that's just a quote from him. That's when he was. That's a quote from the former president Jimmy Carter. But I don't know. He probably said that recently because the infrastructure, man. I think they did I forget what the grade was, but America's infrastructure is through, man. The brothers out there in the Bay. I forget the elder's name. I think his name is Yakal. But he always talks about how San Francisco is just a shithole, literally. The bums, there's so much homeless people, there's actually shit on the actual ground, man. But you see, what did Jimmy Carter say? We'd have high-speed railroad, we'd have bridges that aren't collapsing because the infrastructure is shitty. I know in New York, the streets in New York is shitty, and that's supposed to be a so-called metropolis. You know what I'm saying? It says we'd have roads that are maintained properly. And there's mad potholes in New York, you know? Even in Florida, you know, some of the streets aren't maintained properly, you know?
They're maintained properly.
The US spent 3 times more than China on defense in 2018. Much of the budget goes on military operations conducted in many parts of the world.
Just as in Rome, that's what caused Rome's downfall. Rome was spread thin, man. They were fighting wars on all fronts, man, you know? That's one of their downfalls, and that's what America does. The whore, which is the whore, Babylon the Great, the whore, which is the rebirth of the Roman Empire, you know, the beast, which I always say, America is Babylon the Great, the whore that sits upon many waters, all right? But the whore rides upon the beast, which is NATO and the EU, okay? And what America does is it everywhere it's a colonizer, it's a conqueror, it's a virus, it's a cancer. So everywhere it goes, it has to leave its bases there, its military base, and its corporations to conquer the people, man, to spread its philosophy, its wine, its Babylon juice, all right? But as you can see, that's where all the money goes. They're pumping all their money into the military, all right? That's why the infrastructure is shitty, you see? Like you got countries like UK, you got Canada, they got free healthcare. We don't even have this is supposed to be one of the greatest countries in the world. We don't even have free healthcare, you know? But I digress, okay? But there's a reason why America, the whore, the beast, you know, it spends all that money on the military. Okay, but I'll get into that later.
China, on the other hand, spends money on bolstering national security and countering terrorism. Since 1979, Beijing has conducted almost no military offensives. Let's get some analysis on this now from former US Congressman Ron Paul. Kindly joins me this evening. Good to have you on the line, Ron. Are you surprised at this move, Donald Trump reaching out to Jimmy Carter, of all people? He previously called him the worst president in US history.
Well, I think it's interesting and fascinating. And I do know that I was in Congress when Jimmy Carter was president. He was not that popular, but he's known now, even with many libertarians, that he's the best former president we've ever had. So since he's left, he's done an extremely good job at diplomacy. And when you look back, you know, things weren't quite so bad. And
If I could say this right quick, Jimmy Carter, if you're not familiar with him, he was a Democratic president. Trump, as you know, is a Republican president. And I always say most of the Republican presidents go to war, if not all of them. You see? The Democrats, not so much, but most of the Republican presidents went to war.
he suffered from some consequences. But as far as character goes and his move toward peace, he's been a great person. And I think that if you look at what his statements have been, whether it's in the Middle East or with Russia or wherever, he does stand for a peaceful approach. So I found it really fascinating and interesting that Trump called him. Trump hasn't called him since he's been president, and wanting to know what's your opinion. And this whole idea is that his message was, well, why are you spending so much money on weaponry? And I thought he was pretty shrewd, and he acknowledged to the President Trump, he says, you know, you're right. You ought to be worried about China because they're getting way ahead, because they're smart enough not to waste too much money on their military. And he was claiming that we as Americans spend too much. And this is true. And I think there's a pamphlet put out many years ago by an Austrian economist, Henry Hazlitt. It was entitled "Instead of What?" And you know, when you spend money on something like military, instead of what? And it was mentioned in the introduction that maybe it would have been spent on infrastructure or health care or who knows what. But every time
Healthcare, like I said. That's funny that he said that. Healthcare, man. How the fuck we don't have Salakia? Excuse my Swahili, my French. How the fuck we don't have free healthcare here, man? That's some bullshit, you know. But this is the greatest country in the world. People risking arms and limbs and risking death to cross the border, you know, not knowing that this place is about to get missiles rained upon it. Fools.
they say, well, it's absolutely necessary we do this because it creates jobs when you build weaponry. But no, I think it's fascinating.
Salakia, let me run that back some, man. You know me, I'm always blibbity blabbing. Here it is, bomb, like the mad guy says. Salakia. That dude is funny, man. Y'all should go check his videos out. He be having me rolling. I think his name is Mag Truth or something like that. That dude is funny, man.
Who knows what? But every time they say, well, it's absolutely necessary we do this because it creates jobs when you build weaponry. But no, I think it's fascinating. I think it's great that he did talk to the president, and President Carter reminded him that China has not been at war since we started diplomatic relationships again in 1979 when Carter was president. So, and he also threw out the number. He says, you know, only 16 years of our 240 years of history have we been at peace. So we as a...
Let me slow that back for you, because I got the scriptures on these devils, man. These red Hebrew idiot mites, as I like to call them. Red Hebrew Edomites. But they're idiots. Red Hebrew idiot mites. He said 16 years of 240 years of peace. So this man hasn't put the sword down, just like Cristobal Colon hadn't put the sword down. Okay, but that was, you know, Esau's blessing. You know, you can't make this stuff up. You know, as the brother, I get that from the elder Yakal, I think his name is, in San Francisco. He always says that. You can't make this stuff up. The scriptures fit you devils to the T, man. It fits you like a glove, man. Just like the scriptures fit us, the prophecies. We are the children of the Lord, man. Our spirit bears witness, and history bears witness. Secular history and modern day history. That's why you want to get slavery. You want to delete. You want to, like China, speaking on these damn Moabites, want to get rid of the Bible because you know it prophesies your downfall. Okay, but anyway, I digress. Let me run that back, Salakia. Let me go back some so you can hear that. He kind of said it kind of fast.
when Carter was president. So, and he also threw out the number. He says, only 16 years of our 240 years of history have we been at peace. So we as a nation have generally endorsed war much too generously.
We as a nation have generally endorsed war. I'm going to run that back again. Can't make this stuff up.
Trump when Carter was president. So, and he also threw out the number. He says, only 16 years of our 240 years of history have we been at peace. So we as a nation have generally endorsed war much too generously. And of course, that's why we as a group of libertarians, we believe in non-intervention in foreign affairs. We don't claim we know all the answers, but we know that we should be less involved.
Moab
and
getting
we should
ready,
be not telling the people what to do.
chin-ups.
We don't endorse the whole principle of sanctions and tariffs and all this anti-free market material.
Hey, the scripture said, prepare war, wake up the mighty men. That's what times we in, man. Wars and rumors of war. Okay? But we in them times, man. But what did Yahushua said? All these things must come to pass. See that ye be not troubled. Okay? Wars and rumors of wars. Uproars of the people. Okay? But we know wisdom and knowledge shall be the stability. Okay? We've got the cheat code. We've got the blueprint. All right?
Stuff.
People can, make a case clearly for defence, Ron, but when you look at the numbers, they don't really seem to add up. The US spends more on defence than all the other major international actors combined, 3 times more than China.
That's why they're gonna turn on the whore, man. They're gonna have to, because America got that. Like, we talk crap, but America ain't nothing to be fucked with, man. America got that sword, man. Because America and Israel, you can't count them out. They're hand in hand, man. Israel and America, they're the same entity, man. America's just the face of Israel, man. But you best believe Israel got them nukes too, and that's what they did. After the war, I forget, after World War, I think it was World War II. I think it was after World War II, after they broke up the Soviet, was it? No, Slovakia. It was Hitler. After I don't quote me, I think it was Hitler. But I think after they broke up the Nazis, that's where they got a lot of those damn scientists from. They was fighting like crazy. They show you that in them James Bond movies, man. They was fighting crazy over them damn German scientists. That's what the scripture said. Is wisdom no more in Teman? Teman are the Germans. All right. That's where a lot of the technology came from for those to split the atom and to build those bombs. Right. A lot of technology came out of fucking Hitler, out of Germany, man. A lot of the chemotherapy that came out of Nazi Germany, Nazi Germany, But anyway, I digress. I'm all over the place.
Wasn't this a fairly simple argument to make all the way along?
See, I think one thing that we always use, and I use it too, but you used it in your statement, that we should think about, and that is that we spend more on defense. Well, that's sort of misleading. It's not on defense, it's on militarism. But, even our budget, it's the defense budget. We're always defending against somebody going to invade us. So, no, it's a military budget, it's militarism, it's the military-industrial complex, and we should be spending a lot less. And there's constantly new articles, a new one today, and saying, nobody even knows where the money goes. Nobody can audit the Pentagon. And, there's a lot of rich people getting much richer. If you talk about, the discrepancy of the wealthy and the poor, the people who are in part of the military-industrial complex that live around Washington, D.C., they're one of the richest group of people because it's big-time business, and it has very little to do with defense. So that is why, as a libertarian, I'm always advocating,
Anyway, that's funny. The kingdom is divided, man. Satan against Satan, man. How shall their kingdom stand? Okay? And what I said the other day, too. So shall their tongues fall upon themselves, man. We in them times. The prophecies are screaming, man. But anyway, let's get into the scriptures. Bang these out, and then I'll shut it down, all right? Habakkuk 2:2. And the Lord Yahweh answered me and said, write the vision and make it plain upon tables. And we know the tables are the scriptures, right? That he may run that readeth. And that's what we're doing now. Starting from the apostles, the head apostles of GMS on down, okay? All the brothers, okay? Because, you know, the scripture said, rather that you prophesy. We should be about, this thing is about prophesying, saying before. You know, that's what prophecy means, to say before, to say something before it happens. We're telling you this man's kingdom is fallen. Babylon is fallen. We're telling you to repent. The kingdom of heaven is at hand, okay? If you can receive it. Flee ye out of the midst of Babylon. Not physically, but spiritually, mentally. All right? And the Lord answered me and said, write the vision and make it plain upon tables, that he may run that read it. Why? Because we're coming into some terrible times, all right? For the vision is yet for an appointed time, all right? But at the end it shall speak, and we're at the end and it's speaking, it's screaming, and not lie. Though it tarry, wait for it, because it will surely come, it will not tarry. And it's going to come as a thief in the night to 2/3 and the heathen, all right? Behold, his soul which is lifted up is not upright in him. Who is that talking about? Esau, Edom, you red Hebrew idiot mites. But the just, who are the just? The elect, the 144,000 of Yasharallah. But the just shall live by his faith. But what? Faith is a gift. A gift from who? Yahweh. Okay? Many are called, few are chosen. Alright? But like I said, it's a gift from Yahweh. But this is the main point. Habakkuk 2 and 5. Yea, also, because he transgresseth by wine, he is a proud man. Who is that talking about? Esau, Edom. Read Obadiah. That clearly tells you who the proud man is. And that's the epitome of Esau, Edom. Eagle-faced Trump. He's the epitome of an Edomite. Very proud. It says, yea, also, because he transgresseth by wine, he is a proud man. Neither keepeth at home. Okay? And that's why you see they're spending all that money on their military. Okay? So-called defense. It's not defense. It's offense. If you get your ass out of these people's lands, you wouldn't have, you would have to be spending all that damn money. Okay? But what? He's a proud man, and he neither keepeth at home. Right? Who enlargeth his desire as hell, and is as death. And he is as death. He's the harbinger of death. Everything he touches, he destroys. He's a virus. He's a cancer. He destroys the animals. He destroys the earth. He destroys the ozone layer. He destroys your soul. He destroys men, women, children. Nothing is sacred with this devil. All right? He is the wicked. Okay? The Lord's sword, the Lord's whipping stick. Okay? He used Esau, Edom to punish us. Okay? I'll read that over. Habakkuk 2 and 5. Yea, also because he transgresseth by wine, he is a proud man. Neither keepeth at home, who enlargeth his desire as hell, and is as death, and cannot be satisfied, but gathereth unto him all nations. I'll read that over again slowly. Who enlargeth his desire as hell, and is as death, and cannot be satisfied, but gathereth unto him all nations, and heapeth unto him all people. Who does that sound like? What is that talking about? Where is that talking about? Is that not talking about this great nation, this so-called great nation, America? The great melting pot? All right? Shall not all these take up a parable against him, and a taunting proverb against him, and say, woe to him that increases that which is not his? And how did he get Babylon the Great? How did he get America? How did he get it? Through the sword, which was his blessing, okay? How did he take America from the Native Americans? From Gad and Reuben and the Seminole Indians, right? He took it by the sword. Not only that, he took it from Issachar. In Texas, New Mexico, that belonged to Issachar. Canada, he took that from Gad also. You see, You see? It says, shall not all these take up a parable against him and a taunting proverb against him and say, woe, woe means destruction. Woe to him that increases that which is not his, because this land didn't belong to you. How long? How long are you going to go from country to country with your tyranny, okay? Spreading your fucking Babylon juice, your homosexuality, you know, your witchcraft. How long? And to him that ladeth himself with thick clay, and that clay, like we always say, is that debt. You want to subjugate everybody to your Federal Reserve System, your banking system. You damn devils want to use that usury. Okay, like I said, we concerned with the nobles, man. Okay, you Rothschilds, you Vanderbilts, you Gettys, you DuPonts, you Bushes. Okay, this is Revelations 6 and 4. And there went out another horse that was red, rojo, red. Okay, just like you damn devils are red. Okay, and power was given to him. And that's why you go. That's why we know you at your end, because it's not, you didn't do it of your own will. Your pride of your heart, like Obadiah said, have deceived thee. Thou that dwellest in the clefts of the rock. You thought it was you, but no. Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai did that. Okay, and I got it in Genesis. Okay, He gave you that sword. Okay, the gift of killing things, of destruction. Okay, Revelation 6 and 4. And there went out another horse that was red, and power was given to him that sat thereon to take, see, on him, and it's a people, it's a person, it's a people. Okay, Amalek, the chief house of Edom, Amalek, you Amalekites, you Rothschilds, okay, and power was given to, and all they did was, it's families, okay, it's families, man, and they hide under corporations, they own everything, man, and power was given to him that sat thereon to take peace from the earth. And that's all you fuckers do, is take peace, man. You destroy everything. Like I said, you're a goddamn virus. Okay, nothing is sacred. And power was given to him that sat thereon to take peace from the earth, and that they should kill one another. And there was given to him a great sword. Okay, which was the ultimate great sword is going to be those intercontinental ballistic missiles, those ICBMs, those nuclear missiles, man. That are the besom of destruction, that cleaning agent. Okay? But like I said, this is where you got your sword from, man. Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai gave it to you. You know? Matter of fact, Yahweh Shai gave it to you if you could receive it when he was Isaac. Okay? Because reincarnation is real. Okay? But I'm not getting into that. But Yahweh Shai himself gave you this blessing. And he's coming back. He's not going to meet you as a man. He's coming back to take it from you. Okay, but this is where you got your blessing from. Okay, the pride of your heart had deceived you. You know, you thought the Lord was altogether with you, but He wasn't. Okay, this is Genesis 27 and 30. And it came to pass, as soon as Isaac, which is Yahushai, as soon as Isaac had made an end of blessing Jacob, okay, Yasharallah, Israel, all right, and it came to pass, as soon as Isaac had made an end of blessing Jacob, and Jacob was yet scarce gone out from the presence of Isaac his father, that Esau his brother came in from his hunting, and he also made savory meat, and brought it unto his father, and said unto his father, let my father arise and eat of his son's venison, that thy soul may bless me. And Isaac his father said unto him, who art thou? And he said, I am thy son, thy firstborn Esau. And Isaac trembled very exceedingly, and said, who? Where is he that had taken venison and brought it me? And I have eaten of all before thou camest, and have blessed him. Yea, and he shall be blessed. And when Esau heard the words of his father, he cried with a great exceeding bitter cry, and said unto his father, bless me, even bless me, O father. And he said, who is the he? Isaac said, Yahushai. And he said, thy brother came with subtlety, and hath taken away thy blessing. And he said, is he not, who is the he speaking now? Esau said this. And he said, is he not rightly named Jacob? For he hath supplanted me these 2 times. He took away my birthright, and behold, now he hath taken away my blessing. And he said, hast thou not reserved a blessing for me? And Isaac answered and said unto Esau, behold, I have made him thy lord, and all his brethren have I given to him for servants. Salakia. And Isaac answered and said unto Esau, behold, I have made him thy lord, and all his brethren have I given to him for servants. And with corn and wine have I sustained him. And what shall I do now unto thee, my son? And Esau said unto his father, hast thou but one blessing, my father? Bless me, even me also, O my father. And Esau lifted up his voice and wept. And Isaac his father answered and said unto him, behold, thy dwelling shall be the fatness of the earth, and of the dew of heaven from above. And by the sword, okay, Genesis 27 and 40, and by the sword shalt thou live, and shalt serve thy brother. And it shall come to pass when thou shalt have dominion, Salakia, and it shall come to pass when thou shalt have the dominion, that thou shalt break his yoke from off thy neck. Genesis 27 and 41. And Esau, let me scroll this whole Salakia. And Esau hated Jacob because of the blessing wherewith his father blessed him. And Esau said in his heart, the days of mourning for my father are at hand. Then will I slay my brother Jacob. And these words of Esau, her elder son, were told to Rebekah. And she sent and called Jacob her younger son, and said unto him, behold, thy brother Esau, as touching thee, doth comfort himself, proposing to kill thee. Okay? But anyway, I'm going to drop that. I got one more, and I'm going to shut it down. All right? Because like I said, that's where your blessing came from, the sword. But I just wanted to show you that perpetual hatred. The scriptures fit you like a glove, man. You can't run from this, okay? Ezekiel, you can run as fast as you can. You can't, gingerbread man. Ezekiel 35 and 1. Moreover, the word of the Lord Yahweh came unto me, saying, Son of man, set thy face against Mount Seir, which was the capital of Idumea, the chief place of Esau Edom, okay? Son of man, set thy face against Mount Seir, and prophesy against it. And say unto it, Thus saith the Lord Yahweh, Behold, O Mount Seir, I am against thee, and I will stretch out mine hand against thee, and I will make thee most desolate. I will lay thy cities waste, and thou shalt be desolate, and thou shalt know that I am the Lord Yahweh. But this is the main point that I wanted. Ezekiel 35 and 5. Because thou hast had a perpetual hatred, and perpetual means ongoing, never ending, okay? A perpetual hatred, and has shed the blood of the children of Yasharallah by the force of the sword, which was your blessing, so you can obtain the fatness of the earth. And that's the way you rule still, with your tyranny, by the sword. That's why you pumping all that money into your military, okay? All right? Because that's your blessing, all right? Because thou hast had a perpetual hatred, and has shed the blood of the children of Yasharallah by the force of the sword, in the time of their calamity, in the time that their iniquity had an end. Therefore, as I live, saith the Lord Yahweh, I will prepare thee unto blood, and blood shall pursue thee. Sith thou hast not hated blood, even blood shall pursue thee. Thus will I make Mount Seir most desolate, and cut off. Thus will I make Mount Seir most desolate, and cut off from it him that passes out, and him that returneth. And I will fill his mountains with his slain men. In thy hills, and in thy valleys, and in all thy rivers shall they fall that are slain with the sword. I will make thee, because what? He that liveth by the sword shall die by the sword. Right? Must be killed by the sword. Here's the patience and the faith of the saints. Right? And the saints are Israelites. who are Yasharallah. Okay? I will make thee perpetual desolations, and thy cities shall not return, and ye shall know that I am the Lord Yahweh. Okay? I'm gonna keep going, Salakia. This is get some more meat off of this, man. Because thou hast said these two nations. What two nations? What two nations? The northern and the southern kingdom of Yasharallah. Okay, because we were split. But here, in the land of drawn waters, right, where Judah and Israel were oppressed together, okay? Because thou hast said these two nations and these two countries shall be mine, and will possess it, whereas the Lord Yahweh was there. Therefore, as I liveth, saith the Lord Yahweh, I will even do according to thine anger. I'm going to read that over, because that's just beautiful. Ezekiel 35:10. Because thou hast said, these two nations and these two countries shall be mine, and will possess it, whereas the Lord Yahweh was there. Therefore, as I live, saith the Lord Yahweh, I will even do according to thine anger, and according to thine envy. See, because that hatred, that envy because of your brother, right? You envied your brother because of the blessing. And according to thine envy, which thou hast had, which thou hast used out of thy hatred against him. That perpetual hatred, that never-ending hatred. That's why the Lord is going to make you a perpetual desolation. It's only just. Okay? Therefore, as I live, saith the Lord Yahweh, I will even do according to thine anger, according to thine envy, which thou hast used out of thy hatred against them. And I will make myself known among them when I have judged thee. And thou shalt know that I am the Lord Yahweh, and that I have heard all thy blasphemies, starting with the finger of fucking God, and you painting your likeness as the Holy One, with that Caesar Borgia, that damn demon. Okay, all right. And thou shalt know that I am the Lord Yahweh, and that I have heard all thy blasphemies. You know what's some more blasphemies? That there is no God. Okay, YOLO, you only live once. You know. And thou shalt know that I am the Lord Yahweh, and that I have heard all thy blasphemies, which thou hast spoken against the mountains of Yasharallah, saying, they are laid desolate, they are given us to consume. Thus with your mouth have ye boasted against me, and have multiplied your words against me. I have heard them. Thus saith the Lord Yahweh, when the whole earth rejoiceth, I will make thee desolate, as thou didst rejoice at the inheritance of as thou didst rejoice at the inheritance of the house of Yasharallah, because it was desolate, so will I do unto thee. Thou shalt be desolate, O Mount Seir, and all Idumea, even all of it, and they shall know that I am the Lord Yahweh. Call her Lord Yahweh Ba'Hashem Yahweh Shai, Ba'Hashem Rakakwadash. And with that being said, Lord willing, it was edifying. And like I always say, we almost out of here, man. Shalom.